All right, guys, welcome back. We're running through this Lattafa gift set 20 ml bottle sampler, and today we are doing Qiam. I presume I'm pronouncing that incorrectly because I really am not good at reading Arabic, even though there's English letters. And it looks like this. On the big bottle, looks very similar. This is part of their Pride lineup. And, oh, there's my phone making noise. I gotta turn that off because that might get me flagged or something. Turn that, there we go. That's off. Very unprofessional, but I don't do second takes. So as you can see, it's a little sample bottle, 20 mil. It's not like one of those little 0.5, 1.5 mil sample bottles. It's like you can actually get some wear out of these. So this is a great set if you want to pick it up. I usually keep the things linked in all my videos just so you have access to them if you want to. And I only will link reputable sellers. That's one of my rules. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at stuff. But yeah, this is Qiam Gold, and this, along with every other fragrance in here, was a blind buy. I didn't know a thing about any of these fragrances, including this one. But let's go ahead and talk about those notes real fast. Actually, first I should explain how my process works. I spray on paper, then I spray on skin. The reason why I do both is because obviously skin is pulse points, tends to project more loudly because your temperature and the heat on your skin pushes those chemicals and oils into the air faster through evaporation. I'd spray on paper because this is a decent analog for spraying on clothing. And during winter time, and this is more of a winter fragrance in my opinion based on the notes I just read, people will spray on their clothing more often because there's less skin exposed. So you can't, unless you're just spraying your neck and the back of your head or something, you got to spray somewhere, and clothing tends to be where it goes. And usually you have better longevity on clothing. So the paper is a good analog for that. A lot of those sweet scents don't come out quite as strong. Sometimes the smoky scents come out a little stronger on skin as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about those notes real fast. And the last thing, I will blip out of existence after giving you the rundown on paper and skin, and then I'll come back after wearing it for a couple days, and I can kind of give you a rundown of my opinion of it, longevity, projection, wake, all the stuff that makes a fragrance a performer versus just smelling good in general. So let's go ahead and talk about these notes. Top notes of saffron and raspberry. Then you get leather in the middle with the heart notes and patchouli, and then base notes of oud. Oh, this might not go great. Amber, benzoin, guaiac wood, and vetiver. This could be great as long as the oud isn't like gross and poopy smells. So hopefully it's not. But let's go ahead and do the spray on paper. The atomizers on these things are decent. I would say that every 2 sprays is the equivalent to like a normal full-size bottle single spray. That's my opinion. I have not tested that fully. Oh, got it on my hand, All right. Let's see how this opening turns out. It's a very aggressive, dry opening. I actually have a fragrance that's from Afnan called Mistal of Trust that has a very similar opening, that raspberry saffron. It's very dry. Not unpleasant, but it's very dry, extremely crisp. And the leather's in there as well. The leather smooths it out. The leather is more smooth. I'm not getting any patchouli on paper. And I might be getting some oud already. It's just like it just smells, yeah, there's definitely some oud popping through. At least on paper. I'm not getting vetiver by itself. I'm definitely not getting any of the resinous notes. This is a definite, based on this opening I'm getting, this is not a mass appealing blind buy safe fragrance. Just FYI. I'm not the biggest fan of oud. I have some oud fragrances that I do enjoy, but they are like special occasion. Like I gotta know who I'm gonna be around, kind of where. Some people love oud. Some people can't stand the smell of oud. Like you gotta be careful how much you spray. It's just one of those notes to be a good person. You gotta be careful with because you don't want to run people out of a room because that's just, in my opinion, that's rude activity. If you're gonna do that, especially if you're in an enclosed space where people can't leave. Like don't wear oud to work. That's how I've always kind of approached it. I realize there's disagreement there, but yeah, there's definitely some oud there on the paper. All right, before I take too long doing this, let's go ahead and do skin. My wife might be so mad when I do this. All right, spray it on skin. Let it flash for a second. I'll continue smelling the paper. Yes, definitely a lot of leather. I'm not getting any patchouli though. I'm not noticing any patchouli on paper. That might be different on skin, but it definitely projects pretty heavy. Like I can smell it on the paper just like sitting down. Normally that doesn't quite happen. And normally, because I'm surrounded by the fragrance right now, like I'll go a little nose blind unless it's like right up in my face, and that's not happening right now. I can smell it. I can smell it distinctly. It's a uber masculine fragrance. I will say that it's extremely masculine. All right, let's go ahead and smell the skin. Way more incense, like something dry, kind of smoky going on with the skin. And again, that could just be my skin. Everyone might have a little different interaction with it. The oud's not as heavy on skin. I'm getting more, if I had to guess, I'm probably noticing the saffron a lot more on skin than I did on paper. Again, it's still very, very dry, very crisp. I don't really have any complaints per se about it, but I will say on paper, when the fact that I could smell oud that early tells me that the oud might be more dominant than I was expecting. I mean, it's there. I would not say it's a oud dominant because the leather on skin to me is the big focus. But yeah, I guess it's not a super mass appealing DNA. This is an older man's fragrance. This is not I pity the college kid who throws this on thinking they're going to go on a date and smell sophisticated, because you might smell sophisticated to you, but you might run the other person off. But yeah, I get where this is coming from. It's a crisp, clean fragrance. This would be like I realize what I said about oud being not office safe. This would be kind of like, okay, your boss wears this. Like that's kind of that's the vibe it gives. If you're like a 20-something and you're walking into your first big boy or big girl job, and your boss smelled like this, be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That 50-year-old man, that's what it smells like. Like it makes sense for that kind of age range. And I hate doing that because that's about 10 years older than me, and that's kind of how I feel about it. I would, based on this opening that I'm getting, I would wear this to like maybe any place that's like super wintry. Like I gotta be wearing like flannel, like have a 5 o'clock shadow at least. Like it's that kind of vibe to it. It's very, very masculine. So just keep that in mind. Like it's masculine and mature on top of that. But yeah, all right, so the next part of this video, I've taken way too long yapping, is I will blip out of existence and come back and talk about things like projection, longevity, yada, yada, yada. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back, and I'm here to finish up talking about Qiam Gold from Lattafa's Pride series, part of this little sampler right here. If you can't see it well enough, it's right there. So, Qiam Gold, what can we say about it? First, I'll go ahead and say the obvious part that I think is most appropriate for people who are trying to figure out if this is worth getting for them or worth risking buying, is that it is not blind buy safe. I can go ahead and say that pretty safely and confidently, that if you're someone who likes to blind buy fragrances or is willing to take the risk on it, this is one that is not going to be likely to make you happy with the result. It's not that it's bad, it's that it's got a small, tiny group of people who are going to really enjoy this a lot. It's relative to the population who just enjoys fragrances in general. The saffron-raspberry opening that has leather in there too. I'm sorry, leather should be in the top notes because the notes aren't that differentiating between the heart notes and the top notes. But it's nice if you like that really crisp, striking, bitter kind of vibe in the opening. For some people, that's refreshing. They're like, it's like people who like to drink black coffee, of which I am one. They're not doing it for the flavor, they're doing it for the pick-me-up, the grab. That's what's refreshing to them. It's not the bright citrusy zestiness that so many fragrances have today. It's not that kind of vibe. It's a bracing shot of bitter leather and saffron kind of thrown at you with a little bit of raspberry in there to kind of cut into it. It's not a sweet opening. As it dries down, the oud comes out along with the amber. It is a light oud, it is not heavy. I will say that. I would not even say this is an oud-centered fragrance. It's definitely more on the leather-oriented side. That being said, the type of leather, there's two types of leather in my opinion too. There's that smooth, buttery, creamy, almost like leather that's been freshly, like, they use the leather cleaner on there that kind of smooths it out, makes it that kind of vibe to it. That creamy leather, and then there's like the striking, crisp, almost bitter leather. It's more in that secondary category, with the amber kind of taking a little bit of that edge off as time goes on. Those resinous notes really have to work hard to get through that bitterness. Now, as far as longevity, it goes and goes and goes. Like, you'll smell it on your clothes the next day, you'll smell it on you up to 8 hours later, projects for about 3 to 4 hours, pretty consistently. I have no qualms about its quality as far as projection and longevity. It does a great job. So if you want a long-lasting fragrance that you can go beastie with, you can do it with this one. It just might not be the note combo you really want to have going for you. As far as the best way I can like say for people the vibe that this gives me, and I think I mentioned in the first half of the video, so if I'm being redundant and repetitive, I apologize. It reminds me of the way, like, if you get hired for your first big boy or big girl job and the guy that hires you is taking you to meet the boss. Like, as in, you're not hired by the boss is too busy to hire people. Like, you're gonna go meet him for the first time. This is what the boss smells like. It's that kind of vibe to it. It's very hyper masculine, extremely competent and crisp, and like you're trying to smell this way. It doesn't smell dirty, it doesn't smell ugly, it doesn't smell fecal with the oud. It just smells extremely crisp, bitter, and masculine. So that's the vibe it gives off. If that's not you, and trust me, that's not a lot of people, you can skip this one. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. That's Qiam Gold from Lattafa, and that's my basic rundown and everything else. If you like this kind of content, hit the plus sign, subscribe to the channel, yada, yada, yada.